All right. Right now, let's go take a call because I've been yakking for too long. Lissette, welcome to the show. What can I do for you?
Hi there. Thanks so much, Jill.
Of course.
Great to hear you. I mean, I've been listening to you on CBS, so here I am.
Fantastic. What can I do for you, Miss Lissette?
Well, Jill, I'm reaching out because I am turning 50 next year.
You know, the best news I can tell you is you're turning 50. You can actually put an extra $6,000 into your retirement plan. That's the best
and that's
part.
pretty much one of the reasons I'm excited about it.
And it stops there.
Oh, yeah.
It's not so bad. Trust me. I've been there, and it's not bad. Tell me what's going on as you're turning 50.
Well, with this milestone birthday, personal finance has really been weighing heavily on my mind. And basically, I just want to do a check-in. I want to just take the temperature on everything to make sure that my husband and I are on track.
Okay. Tell me what
I can retire.
Yeah, you want to retire. Everybody wants to retire. You're only 50.
Well, I'd like to retire by 60 or maybe a little sooner. But,
okay.
I still want to work a little longer. But, it's there. I see it in the distance.
Okay. So tell me about yourself. So you working currently?
Yes, I'm working, and my annual salary is about $120.
Great. And what about your husband?
He is actually retired.
What?
Former law enforcement. Yes, he's 55, retired former law enforcement, and he brings in about $78,000 with his pension, but also has a consulting gig on the side that's about $30 a year.
Oh, that's nice. So he's still keeping busy. In other words, AKA keeping out of your hair. All right. You guys have kids?
Yes, we have 2 kids,
Yep.
ages 8 and 10.
Are they in public school or private school?
Private school, and that runs about $8,000 a year for both of them.
Oh, for both? That's not bad.
No, not bad. Yeah, combined.
Okay, good. All right. Now, on your 120, tell me a little bit about what you are putting away. Are you putting into a retirement, a 401k? I don't know. You write for the public sector, the private sector. What are you doing?
So I work for the public sector, and we have access to a 457 plan, and so I've been maxing out on that this year.
Great.
We also have access to what they're calling a 401k, but I get capped at 6%.
Are you doing
can't
it?
Go beyond that.
So you're doing, but you're putting away the max in the 457 plus the 401k, right?
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And then they match that 401k with another 8%.
That's amazing. So 18.5 in the 457, and then they match, and you're doing the 401k. That's really great. Okay, fantastic. How much money do you have that is socked away? Just pile it together for me in terms of the 457 plus the 401k. So what do we have out there?
So the 457 plus the 401k, we're looking at about just under $100,000.
Okay, great.
And then I have a traditional IRA account with Vanguard.
Okay, great.
That's at $490, and that's split about 60-40 between stocks and bonds.
Okay.
And then I have a Vanguard Roth, which is at about 32-35, somewhere around there.
Fantastic.
And that's 100% equities.
Oh, you big player. Okay. Does your husband also have a retirement plan or just the pension that he's receiving?
He also has a 457, and that's at about $330,000.
Wow, that's great. What do you figure you got kids, you said you've got an 8 and a 10-year-old, and beyond the money for tuition for your private Catholic school, how much is it costing you guys to kind of support your whole household?
I would say it runs about, with the Catholic school side, the private school side, I would say it runs about $6,000 a month.
Okay, that's great. That's not too bad. Yeah. Let's see. What's your house worth now about?
The house is worth about $430,000.
Okay, and there's a mortgage that remains?
Yes, it's at around $265 at 4.75, and we're about 15 years in.
Okay. Oh, so you had a 30-year, and now you're like going to crank, and it's going to be all principal. So that's good. Is it your intention to pay for your kids' college at this point? Like, if you can?
If we can, definitely, that'd be great. I mean, at this point in time, we have been saving in a 529. We have about $50,000 saved up for them. But at the same time, I try to keep a balance between, keeping priorities straight in terms of saving for retirement
Yep.
saving for college.
Right. Well, I think that that's great. I think that, look, in general, I think that retirement has to come first. You're doing a great job, so I have no problem with, having some money go into the college, but you're putting a lot of money away for retirement right now. Okay. The question that you're asking is kind of like how you doing for retirement and what you think you need. Let me ask one teeny tiny last question. Beyond all these retirement savings, do you have an emergency reserve fund that is socked away just in case?
I do have an emergency reserve fund. It's not that much, though. It's only about $5,000.
Okay.
So we are socking away about $500 a month now because we've gotten serious about that.
Okay, good. Very good. I think you're in really good shape. I mean, so let's presume that you need $7,000 a month, okay? Or let's just say 85 grand a year is, about what you think you need. Now, the good news is that your husband's pension of $78,000 covers a lot of that. I mean, is that $78,000, by the way, net or gross? Is that what he takes home, or is that the gross amount and then it's taxed?
That's a gross amount, and then it's taxed,
Okay.
and then we have medical insurance that gets paid out through that.
Okay. All right. So we still need to generate a chunk of money, call it 30 grand a year or so, maybe 40 grand from whatever asset base you'll have at that time. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the good news. Let's just say that you needed 35 grand a year to generate. You have today probably almost enough to make that happen. Certainly by the time you retire, you will. So let's take it line by line. You've got this 100 grand that you've socked away already. You've got 490 grand that is sitting in a traditional IRA. You've got 35 grand in a Roth. Your husband has 330 grand in a retirement account. And this does not even include the money that you are going to be adding every year, which is, will end up being $24,500 a year. So if you don't do much to change your financial life going forward, you're going to have probably $1.5 million, maybe $2 million. Let's call it by the time you're 59 and a half, because you're probably not going to want to do this until you're 59. Maybe you would do it earlier. I don't know. We'll see. But you'll have plenty of money. And that money, that $1.5 million, that $2 million, that will generate the $35,000, $40,000, even $45,000 you need pre-tax to pay for your lifestyle. So you are 100% on track. And the only thing that could really derail you is if you screw this up yourselves. How would you screw this up yourself? You wouldn't. You wouldn't do that to me after we've just gone through this beautiful analysis. But one way you could screw it up is that you could say when you're 55, Jill said I need $1.5 million. Things have been great. We have $1.5 million. I'm going to retire today. And then you start spending a ton of money too early in your retirement. That would really screw you up. So don't do that. But presumably, if you just keep working, and again, 10 years is not a bad number to keep in mind. If you just kept working until you were 60 years old or 59, because you're only 49 now, I think this makes incredibly good sense. You may be bored. You might want to do something else like your husband. Maybe you'll retire and do some consulting. That will make it look all the better. Honestly, the only thing that I could say looks a little bit sketchy right now, you're already addressing, and that is get that emergency reserve higher.
Awesome.
You're doing great.
This makes me feel good.
You should. You should feel great. Don't take too much risk. I mean, it's fine to take risk in the Roth. Don't take too much risk with the 457 or all that, too early. And congratulations, because on what I would say is a pretty solid income base, you're saving a ton of money. So that is amazing. And I am delighted that you're doing that. And, even if you do retire and as you contemplate retirement, do try to think about, hey, is there something I can do to keep busy, keep active? Because you know what? 50 is really young, but so is 60. 60 is really young and you sound healthy. So think about things that you would want to do in your years after you have to show up at work at every day at a certain hour. And if some of those things can make money, great, but just be active, be engaged. And I think that people who retire really well think about that 5 to 10 years out. So congratulations, Lisette. You are you're the 3 gold stars of the day. So thank you so much for calling, and good luck to you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. That is so great. I'm so happy.